year. Wala pa man gud ko'y list sa official enrolled students. So, sige lang.
Mga 14 man ata.
14.
14.
Unsa man ang balita sa uban mag-join to sila diri karon?
Usually, manggod ma'am, kay kami jud
Gamay.
kasagaran nagasulod lang.
Aka mo lang.
Gamay lang, ma'am.
Unsaon man na? Ang hatang unsa ang pagsabot nila sa subject?
Chat.
At sa naman sila ma'am.
I-inform lang naman, ma'am.
Sige, sige. Mahulat na ta mga 5 minutes na lang, no? Okay. Okay, so murag wala na di na gid to sila mag-join. Anyway, I'm going to give them another activity para kuan naa sila attendance. So, let's begin. I hope you could see my presented or my shared screen. This is our session plan for this subject. So this is CC 103 and this is a continuation of your computer programming 1 last sem. So this is programming 2, computer programming 2, and we have the following learning outcomes LO1, classify the different structure of programming language, assigning values and variables. LO2, apply functions and widely understand the custom function of programming language. LO3, compare arrays and other containers and develop programs that utilize container classes and arrays. And LO4, design, implement, test, and debug a program based on a given specification that uses data structures such as arrays, stacks and queues, trees, strings, um, structures, linked lists and files, conditional, iterative, and recursive constructs, and third, standard libraries in the assigned programming languages or programming language. So the programming language that will be used in this course, that will be Java. As since you've already used Java, the basics, I suppose you know the basics of Java. So I'm not gonna cover the basics anymore. So you've already covered it in programming 1 or in your CC 102. So in the course description, the emphasis is to train students to design, implement, test, and debug programs intended to solve computing problems using fundamental programming construct. So this is our second week already. Last week is supposed to be our first meeting, which should have been our discussion of our course overview or introduction to the course. That is week 1 last week, supposedly, and this week is week 2, January 18. And week 3, this is week 2, and next week will be week 3, and that will be up to January 29. So next week will be our first exam. Methods, ito yung first na learning content. So you are gonna be presented with topics regarding methods, the basic concepts, and how to write and apply methods into your program. I think you already have a brief discussion of methods, but this time we're gonna dig deeper into this concept of methods. So there are 2 outputs that I'm expecting you to produce after this week. That is course activity 1 and problem set 1. And so you can see the course activity 1 and problem set 1 in your learning module. Next, I'm gonna start already my first topic. So we're not gonna waste any time here. Let me first share my window. By the way, if you have questions, you can just write your questions in our chat box, and you can interrupt me while I'm discussing. You can turn on your mic, or you can chat your questions in our chat box.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is I'm presenting the correct window. So first topic is methods. So a method is a block of code which only runs when it is called. You can pass data known as parameters into a method, and methods are used to perform certain actions, and they are also known as functions. So in some other programming languages, a method is also termed as functions. When you hear a programmer who is describing or is talking about the term functions, and that person is actually referring to methods. So, why do we use methods? That is because we want to reuse code, define the code once, and use it many times. So, when we are writing methods, that's actually a set of, if you have a set of codes, you group it in a block, and then you can just call it, no, you can write it once and then call or use it many times. So it's like a way of a divide and conquer approach in solving a problem. So if there's one big problem, we can just divide it into smaller parts, and we can create methods for each um, uh, for for each features of a problem or a program. So we will see later some examples of how do we write and apply methods into our programs. So next is, how do we create a method? A method must be declared within a class. It is defined with the name of the method followed by parentheses. Java provides some predefined methods such as system.out.println, but you can also create your own methods to perform certain actions. Example, create a method inside main. So we have this example. Of course, your main method starts with public class and then main, and then there is the public static void my method. So if you can still recall in your programming one, you have already written a main declaration, okay, inside your main program or class. So we'll have the static void my method. This is an example of our method. Okay? So, muna siya ang method. Okay. So, in short, we have here a class main, and inside the class main, we have the void my method. So, this is an example of a method. And then this method has this open and close parentheses. So, naani siya'y ginatawag na to nga parameters na naa sa sulod sa sa parentheses. So, kining example na to, kay wala man ni sulod ang parentheses, then, it has no, we call it has no input. Meaning, it can run, the method can run itself, but it does not need any data to run itself. Okay? Kung tawagon siya or gamiton siya, wala siya kinahanglan na data. So, these are called parameters. Okay? Parameters are the data that your method needs to execute. Now, after the declaration of the parameters, so natay mga method na kinahanglan og parameters, na po yung mga method na no need na ang parameters. So, next to that is the opening curly brace, and then inside the curly brace will be your code, your block of code, and then it should end with a curly brace. Then, of course, you have to end your main class here. So, kini example na to, wala pa ni siya main method. Now, how do we call a method? So, to call a method in Java, you write the method's name followed by two parentheses and a semicolon. In the following example, my method is used to print a text or the action and when it is called. Example, inside main, you call the my method. Again, the name of the method here is my method after the declaration of void. Notice here that we started the declaration of our method with the static, and next is void, and the next is the name of the method. And then after that will be your parameters if there are any, then curly brace. So assuming that this is our let's see. This is our main class, and inside it you'll have system.out that println I just got executed. So it means that if the my method is called, or if it's used, then it will just simply print I just got executed. Okay, so for example, in your main method, so this is the usual main method that we have: public static void main string args and open curly brace, and then you have this one. This is the call to my method. Mao ni siya ang mo execute sa inyong method diri mura siya og gitawag niya ang inyong my method. So pag call niya, pagtawag niya kang my method, kini ang iyahang iran. System.out that println I just got executed. So kung tan-aw ninyo ang inyong main method, mao lang ni siya. Mao lang ni siya ang sulod, 'di ba? So though kini lang ang iyang sulod sa main sa inyong main method, ang output niya is I just got executed, because there is something inside the my method, and that is defined in this portion. This is what we call the method definition. So another example which shows a method can also be called multiple times. So again, we have another main class, and then this is now our method, but make sure that there is no space here, okay, in the name of your method. So this is my method. So the name of your method should not possess any spaces. Okay, it should be one word. And then there's no parameter. Open curly brace, I just got executed. So this is just the same in our previous slide. And then this is our main. Now this is our main method. It just simply calls my method, my method, my method. So it's calling the my method, this method, 3 times. Okay? 3 times niya gitawag. 1, 2, 3. So ikatulo pod ni niya iran this definition of your my method. So this should be, saan niya siya? This should be I just got, because this is I. So the output should be I just got executed, I just got executed, and I just got executed. So 3 times. 3 times niya ning iran. Kay 3 times man niya gi-call ang method. Next, let's go to parameters and arguments. So information can be passed to methods as parameter. So as I said earlier, those parameters are the data or information that we need to process inside the method. Parameters act as variables inside the method. So they are actually variables, okay, that we declare inside the method. Parameters are specified after the method name inside the parentheses. You can add as many parameters as you want. You just separate them with a comma. The following example has a method that takes a string called fname as parameter, and when the method is called, we pass along a first name, which is used inside the method to print the full name. So we have again here our example, the class main, and then here's the static void my method and then string fname. So take note here that the my method na example na to kaganina na ana siya'y parameter. Okay, na sulod ang parenthesis. And this time, this is string fname. Okay, and then inside the method, we have another output statement, fname plus refsness. So that means kung unsa man ang value nga gipasa diri sa parameter, unsa ang data nga gipasa diri sa fname, mao pod ang value ni fname diri Okay? Tapos, unsa maning plus sign diri? Para asa man ni ang plus? Kani, para asa man ni ang plus? So, ang plus ginagamit nato sa numbers para mag-add. Pag string na, kini siya, string man ni. So, ginagamit nato siya sa pag-sumpay sa string. Okay, isumpay niya. Kung unsa man ang value ni fname, isumpay niya sa string na refsness. Okay, so let's see. This is our main method. Okay, this is our main method. And then we have here, my method, Liam. So, pareha ni kaganina. Pero, in the previous one, here, we don't have a parameter inside. Okay? So, wala sila mga data or information. Walay sulod. So, in this example, naa ni siya'y sulod. Okay. Liam. The first one is Liam. The second one is Jenny. And the third one is Anja. So, meaning, tawagon niya ang my method. Mao man ni atong my method. Okay. This is our my method. And tawagon niya, because this is a function call or method call, and then ipasa niya ang Liam na data. Digto na siya sa parameter nga fname. So, karon ang value ni fname is Liam plus refsness. So, ang ihang i-print diri is Liam refsness. Okay? Sunod, ikaduha, is Jenny na ang value ni fname. Si Jenny na pod ang iyahang ipasa diri sa fname. Okay? So, this is Jenny now. This is Jenny plus refsness. So, it will output Jenny refsness. Third, you have Anja.
Add mo
Isumpay lang niya. Jenny plus refsness. With space na siya. Una nga na siya space diri. Okay? Ikatulo niyang call is Anja. So, si Anja na pod ang iyahang value. Okay? So, Anja, refsness na pod. Anja, sumpay niya, refsness. So, ikatulong output sa ikatulong tawag sa method is Anja, refsness. So, that's our example of a program or method that accepts parameters and arguments. So, sometimes I'm going to use parameters and arguments interchangeably. I will use the words interchangeably. Sahay tawagon nako ni siyang parameter, sahay argument. But the actual really definition of parameters is katong naa sa sulod sa method, mo ni sila tong parameters. Ang katong nasa sulod sa call, mo ni siya ang arguments. Okay? Ang value. Okay? Ang value is the argument. And ang kining variable, that's the parameter. Okay? So, ang Liam, mo ang value. nga ipasa niya sa parameter nga fname. Sunod si Jenny is the value passed to fname. Sunod si Anja, that is the value passed to fname. When a parameter is passed to the method, it is called an argument. Okay, so as I've said, that's the value. Then, so from the example in our previous slide, fname is the parameter, while Liam, Jenny, and Anja are the arguments. So we can also add multiple parameters in our method. So this example is we have main method, and then we have the my method. Okay? This time, duha na. Kaganina, fname lang to siya. Karon, gidungaga na to og age. So, duha na ka parameters. Okay? The one is string and the other is integer. So, pwede na siya. Depende na siya sa application sa inyong method. Depende sa problem. So, pwede ka mag-add diri sa parameters. And you just have to use the comma to separate all your parameters. Now, here in my method, the same lang ang atuang statement. Isa lang kabuok. So, we want here to print or to output the name plus the word is plus the value of the age. Okay, so example, in the main method, this is our main method. This is the first call of my method. So duha man ang parameter, kinahanglan duha pod ka argument. Okay? Duha pod ka argument imong ipasa. For example, there's someone trying to enter Clarish. So if going back, if duha ka parameter imuhang method, then dapat duha pud ka data imong ihatag, no? Kung isa lang, malimtan nimong isa nya, duha imuhang parameter, mag-error na inyong program. So kinahanglan na kung pila ka book inyong parameter, maupod ang inyong arguments. Okay? So duha tong arguments diri. Ang first na argument para na siya sa first parameter. In this case, this is fname. Ang ikaduhang argument, that is for the second parameter. In this case, that is age. Okay? So, unsay ang buhaton karon? Ang value ni fname is Liam and ang value ni age is unsa man? 5. Good. So, iyang output diri is Liam is 5. Okay? Next call, okay, method call is my method Jenny, and then the second argument is 8. So, the name will be Jenny and the age is 8. Pag ikaduha na niyang call sa my method. So, the output here, the second run of this my method will be Jenny is 8. Third run or third call of the my method, Anja is the first name and 31 is the age. So here you'll have Anja is 31. This is the value of age is 31 and fname is Anja. So mo ni sila ang output, tulo ka buok. Liam is 5 for the first method call. Jenny is 8 for the second method call, and Anja is 31 for the third method call. Note that when you are working with multiple parameters, the method call must have the same number of arguments as there are parameters, and the arguments must be passed in the same order. So, in the same order, meaning kung name ang nauna, name po ang imuhang unahon ug pasa. And then age ikaduha, so ikaduha pod ang age diri sa imuhang arguments. So it should it should always follow your method definition. First name, una, and then age, ikaduha. First name, and then age. First name, and then age. Return values. The void keyword used in examples in our previous slide indicates that the method should not return a value. So we have used there the void. Okay, balik ko na to. In our declaration here, we used void. Okay, right before the name of the method, my method. So we used here void. Unsa day ang pasabutan ng void, ma'am? So, the void here, mo ni siya ato ang napasabot. Pag gi-declare na to atong method na void, then that would mean na the method does not give us a value. It will not return a value. Okay? Though that method actually is performing something, but it's not actually giving us a value. It's not giving back to the main method. Wala siya ginahatag nga value sa main method. So, we'll have to show you later examples of methods na naa siya ihatag, naa siya i-return na value sa inyong main method. Okay, if you want the method to return a value, you can use a primitive data type such as int, char, or other data types. So, instead of void, and use the return keyword inside the method. So, kini siya, mao na ni example sa method nga dili void. Okay? So, meaning, kung dili siya void, butangan nimo siya og data type. Diri sa, instead of using the void, you'll have to specify here the data type of the value to be returned. Okay, so here we declare our my method as integer. Dili na siya void. So again, let's have a declaration static int my method, and then naa siya isa ka parameter int x. Then unsa iyang buhaton, it will return 5 plus x. So mao lang ni siya, isa lang ka buok. Okay, so it will return. Ang giingon diri sa description, pag dili void ang imuhang method, dapat naa kay return statement, na kay magamit ka og return keyword. So meaning, kini nga statement na return, mao ni siya ang iyahang ipasa didto sa main method. Okay? So, kaganina, balikan na to ang void. So, ang void, wala ni siya gihatag nga value. How do you... Okay. Balik ta sa void. Ang nahitabo diri kaganina sa void, gikan sa main method, nagpasa tag value sa void method. Pero, walay value nga gikan sa void padulong sa main. Okay? Walay value siya gihatag diri. Wala siya gi-return. Wala siya gi-return. Okay? X. Wala siya gi-return. Pag void. Ang kining output, kining iyang gi-perform lang is, digto na siya sa output. Okay? Ang ihang gi-perform lang is digto lang na siya padulong sa output. Pero wala gid siya value nga gihatag sa main. Mao ni siya ang void. Now, in this example, or in this type of method, naa siya ihatag, naa siya i-return nga value sa main method. Okay? So, unsa man karon ihang gi-return. So, this time, let's see. Again, the parameter is x and it will return 5 plus x. Meaning, iyang ihatag sa main nga value is 5 plus kung unsa ang value ni x. Okay? So, let's take a look at our main method. So, sa main method na atay output statement, and then this is output, and then this is the call, no? This is the call to my method. So, because of this, i-execute niya ang my method. Tapos, nagpasa siya og 3. So, ang 3, ipasa niya dito sa x, sa my method. So, karon ang value ni x is 3. So, iyahang i-return ang 5 plus 3, iyahang i-return ang 8 diri sa nag-call sa iyaha. So, ang output diri is iyahang i-print. I-print niya ang 8. Okay? Mao na siya ang output. So, iyahang return na siya gihatag nga value diri and that is 5 plus 3. So, basically, diri sa ato ang example, nagpasa tag value sa method, tapos ang method, nagbalik siya, nag-return siya, naghatag siya balik og data sa katong nag-call sa iyaha. And that is, in this case, 8. So, another example which returns the sum of a method with 2 parameters. Ang method nato diri is int again, and depende na sa inyong inyong method kung kamo na magsulat sa program. Of course, dali lang siya kay na example, pero di ba usually pag kamo na ang pabuhaton, tagaan mo og problem, kamo na ang pabuhaton sa program, magsulat sa program, maglisod-lisod na mo unsay sugod. But diri sa inyong method, kinahanglan i-analyze ninyo kung unsa ang data type sa inyong return nga value. So pwede ni siya float, double, char, long, short, or any data type. String, pwede pod. No. Excuse me. So, ganina, katong 8 na atong gi-return, di ba ang 8 is whole number. So, that's why nga int atong gigamit. Pag whole number ang inyong data nga i-return, then int ang inyong gamiton. Okay, then we have my method, and then there are 2 parameters, int x and int y. So, here, we return x plus y. So, kung unsa daw ang value nga gipasa sa x ug sa y, ato ang siyang i-add. Okay? So, going to our main method, we have this statement, system.out.println, my method, 5, 3. So, meaning, this is the value of x. No? This is passed to x. And this is the second argument is passed to y. So here it will return x, which is 5, plus y, which is 3, equals to 8. Ang result ani iyang i-return diri So 8 ang result ani. Iyang i-output ang 8. So the result is 8. And then you can also store the result in a variable, recommended as it is easier to read and maintain. So this is another example where you're gonna store in a variable the result. Okay, for example, this is our int, my method. And then there's x and y, and then we have return x plus y. This is the same, the last example, but this time we have int z equals my method 5, 3. So method call na pud ni siya, gitawag na pud niya ang my method, tapos gipasa niya ang 5 sa x and 3 sa y. Then because gitawag man niya ang method, so mag-return ang method og value, which is now 8 because x is 5 and y is 3. So it will give us 8. Now the 8 will be the value of, will be assigned to z. Okay? Kaya naman ni siya variable. The z here is the variable assigned to be equals to the value that is returned to this method call. And that is 8 in this example. So, iyahang i-output diri ang value ni z. Kaning si z. So, ang value ni z is 8. Okay? Gikan diri sa method call na my method. Now, a method here has an if-else. So, it is common to use if-else statements inside methods. So, example, this is the main class. And we have here, the first method is void check age, and it has parameter int age. Now, kung saang buhaton ani nga method is it will just print, okay, it will print access denied, you are not old enough if age is less than 18. So here inside the method we have an if condition. So if age is less than 18, then mao ni iyahang i-print. Else, if this is false, kini ang iyahang i-print. This is if the condition is false here. If the condition is true, then mao ni siya ang iyahang i-print. Again, if the condition age is less than 18 is true, then it will print access denied, you are not old enough. Otherwise, if the condition is false, it will print access granted, you are old enough. Okay. So here in our main method, we call the check age method. So gitawag na niya ang check age ninyo na method here. And then it also passed 20 here sa age. So this is 20. Now, it will test if age is less than 18. So since age is 20 and 20 is not less than 18, so this condition is false. So if the condition is false, then kini ang iyahang i-print. So the output is access granted, you are old enough. What if the age or the value passed here is 10? What if the age is 10? Ang giwutang diri is 10. Then it will again pass the value of 10 here. And then if 10 is less than 18 and that is true, that 10 is less than 18, so it will print access denied, you are not old enough, because the condition is true. Do you have questions, clarifications before we proceed? Clarish?
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay lang? Sige. Let's proceed. We have here example of method overloading. So with method overloading, multiple methods can have the same name with different parameters. So example, we have my method int x, my method float x, but they have different data type here, as well as the number, or as well as their parameters. So ilahang data type lahi-lahi, ilahang parameter pod lahi-lahi. So pwede ka magamit og parihang name sa method. So ang isa int x, ang isa float x, ang ikatulo kay double x and double y. Now, consider the following example which have two methods that add numbers of different type. Example, plus method int. This is the name of your method. Again, walay space niha ang inyong method name. This is int. Okay? And it accepts two parameters. So, int x and int y. And it will return x plus y. Next, ikaduha, this is the first method. And the second method is double plus method double. And here we have double x and double y. It will return plus or the addition of x and y. Next, in our main method, we have my num my num1 equals plus method int then pass 85. So unsa man ang value karon ni my num1 after calling plus method int 85. What is the value of my num1?
13, ma'am.
13. Good. How about my num2?
I think 10.29, ma'am.
10.56.
Okay, 10.56. Okay, good. So, here, my num1 will have the value returned from plus method int, that is 8 plus 5. Here is 13. Ang iyang i-return diri is 13. Diri ang iyang gi-return is the sum of x. 4.3 plus y is 6.26, that is equals to, ang ihang i-return diri is 10.56. So ihang output diri is the int is 13 and double is 10.56. So that should be the output. Now, if you can observe, ang kining duha ka method is pareha lang ang ihang gibuhat. Iha lang giad ang x ug y. No. Iha lang giad ang duha ka parameter. Na siya, 'di ba? Pareha lang ilang gibuhat o nag-add lang sila. Nag-return ng nag-add siya and then gi-return niya ang result sa addition. So, kung yun ani, pwede nga the same name lang ang imuhang gamiton diri sa ilang duha. Okay? Pareho-on na lang nimo. Mo na siyang gitawag nato og overloading. So, let's show the next slide. Mao na ni siya. Pareha na sila. Gi-change na to siya. Pareha na sila pangalan sa method. Ang nakalahi lang is katong ilahang return data type as well as ang kining ilahang parameters. Okay? Para dili naka less decision making na ang inyong buhaton. Excuse me sa kalayo. So para going back, para dili na mo maglisod kung mag-write na mo sa inyong methods, dili mo sige hunahuna sa man akong ipangalan ani nga method ana. So pwede mo maggamit aning technique na overloading. The same lang ilahang pangalan, pero pwede lahi ang ilahang return type, okay, and lahi pod ang ilahang parameters. This is the return type and these are the parameters. So the same lang ni siya, but parehaan ni. Plus method, gi-call niya. Plus method, so gi-call pod niya. So next, I think this is the last topic that we had. Java scope. So in Java, variables are only accessible inside the region they are created. So this is called scope. Variables declared directly inside the method are available anywhere in the method following the line of code in which they were declared. So we have here example, main method. So you cannot use x if int x equals 100. Isam niya siya. Okay, so nga naman niya siyang code here cannot use x here in this portion. So you cannot use x here because wala pa nimo gi-declare ang x, no? Kung wala pa ka nag-declare og x, wala pa kay gibuhat sa x, paano mo siya gi-create? You cannot use x in this portion. Now we have a statement. This is now the declaration of x. So right after declaration of x, pwede na ninyo siya gamiton. Code here can use x. So that is, we can now use x here. We print x. Of course, x here is 100. So, in short, you need to always declare first your variables and assign value before you can use your variables. In this example, we have the variable x. Let's see another example. So a block of code refers to all of the code between curly braces. And when I say block of code, guys, wala siya mga codes na nasa sulod sa curly braces, open and close. Example, diri ang open, diri ang close. So this is what we call the block of code. Okay? Ang nasa sulod. Okay, this is our block of code. Now, the variables declared inside the blocks of code are only accessible by the code between the curly braces, which follows the line in which the variable was declared. For example, we have int x equals to 100, and then we print x here. Okay. So, gi-declare na to ang x, diri ang block of code. So, nag-end naman siya diri dili na ka pwede mo gamit sa x diri. Kung tahay, diri ka nag system.out.print x. Okay. So, this is not anymore allowed, or this is what we call out of scope na. Kay si x, diri lang siya nga block. 'Di ba? Diri lang siya sa sulod. Okay? Diri lang gyud na siya sa sulod, pwede nimo gamiton. Na kay dira man siya gi-declare, dira ra po na siya pwede gamiton. Okay? That's what we call a block scope. Because sometimes we can create a lot of methods na, okay, daghan na kag mga methods. Aside from the main method, mag-declare ka diri og x. So, dili na siya nimo pwede gamiton diri si x sa pikas na method. Okay? So, we'll see that later. So, we'll show you examples. Let me share my my screen first. If you have questions, guys, clarifications. Excuse me for a while, guys. I'm gonna write here. If you have access to the internet, you can, or of course you have, so you can go to this site jdoodle.com. I will share this in our group chat, so you can try my examples later, or if you want to focus on my demonstration first and try it later, so pwede po na magtanaw sa mo and observe my examples. Pero if you can work at the same time, listen, view my example, and try my examples at the same time, so you can also do that. um, or you can also use later, no, naaman mo kuan na kanang compiler sa inyong cellphone or sa inyong laptop, so pwede pud na siya nyo gamiton. So I'm gonna type in here our example demonstration or other examples regarding the use of methods. So let's say our name of a class is first method, and we have a static void. My this will be our this will be our main method, and then we usually write our methods before our main method. Okay, so let's write here our first method, which is a void method called myAddress. And so void man ni siya, wala ni siya return. Okay? Wala siya return statement. So what we're just trying to do here is and to show you another example of a method that University of a method that will print something on the screen. Yeah, this method is a void method. So it will not return a value, but it will print. More than one. Okay, so we have here one method my address without parameters, and it's a void method. So wala kay makita diri nga return statement. Okay? And then this is our main method. It will print my name and then it will call my address. So pag call niya sa may address na method, iya dayon ning i-print. No, kay print statements man ni dapat ano din ni dapat north link. This is my address, assuming North Link Technological College. And it will print first Java application with one method. So if you're using JDoodle, you can click on execute to debug. So here we can see that there is an error in this portion. So mali og spelling ang ato ang system, nakulangan og S. So we have here, giprint niya ni og una. Kini sa ang unahon. Ganun kini man ang nauna. Nga mao man ni ang nauna og type. Because ang main method ang unahon og execute sa inyong program. Masking pag nauna ni inyong mga methods, uban nga mga methods, ang main method ang unahon. Okay, i-execute lang ni ang uban method kung tawagon. Na siya. So, unahon niya ang main method, mao man ni ang nauna sa main method. So, ay romano ang una. Sunod, dira pa niya tawagon ang my address. So, sa my address, giprint na niya karon ang kining Faculty of Information System, Northlink Technological College, and New Pandan, Panabo City. Pagkahuman niyag print anang naa sa may address, last ang isunod niya mao ang first Java application with one method. So mao na siya last output statement. Okay. So let's show you another example. I will give you later these examples in our GC. So you can copy paste it and practice on your own. So let's have another method, another example. This is a method with arguments. So this is our main method. And before our main method, we will write our method.
Ma'am, di siya makita.
Ay, dili makita.
Yes, ma'am.
Kana, nana. First method with arguments. So we have here, this is our main method, and then this will be our void method. Again, this is a void method. And this will have two parameters. So this is the opening of our my address method, and this one will be our closing. Okay, here in my address, again, this is void, so wala tay return statement diri and we'll simply print my name as well as my ad, or my name and my ad, this one. Okay, dapat pareha yun na sila. Kini my name, dito na siya. So, sa main method, ang buhaton nato diri is we will create the name. And then address. So, here, ang value sa ato ang name and address is naa sa main method. Tapos, ipasa nato diri sa ato ang methods. And, at the same time, ang value pod sa address naa sa main method, atong ipasa na diri sa ato ang method na my address. And the my address will print the name as well as the value of my ad. So, eventually, kani siya ihang i-print ang Aiza Romano and then ang address ng Faculty of Information Systems NTC Panabo City. Okay, so that's our second example. Do you have questions? Let's proceed to the next example. This one will be our example for a method that that returns a value. So, assuming that the value is string, ang ihang i-return is string, so dili na ni void. Okay, string. Oh, no. This is our main method. Ako usabon. This is our main method. So, i-delete sa nako ni main method ni siya. Then, before our main method, we will write our first method. Public static string my address. This is our method and the return type is string here. Next to that is we'll have a string my name and string my ad. Open and close. Then we'll have a string details equals the value of my name or the value passed to my name plus the word works at plus the value of my ad. And then we're going to return the value of details. So again, this is a string method and the name of the method is my address. It will accept two values for the parameters my name, which is a string, and my ad, which is also a string. So, kung unsang value ni my name and my ad, dapat strings na sila. Then, we have a variable details here equals to the value of my name. So, whatever is passed to my name, iyahang isumpay ang word na works at. plus isumpay pod niya ang unsa ang value ni my address nga gi-send diri or katong gipasa nga value diri. Kung unsa man ang result ani ni details, mao na siyang iyang i-return ang value ni details. Okay? So, let's assign a value. String name equals this is now our call to my address. So, ang value nga i-return ni my address i-store nato sa variable na text. Okay. Remember guys, this is another thing that you should remember. Pag na siya i-return, pwede nimo siya i-assign sa variable. Okay? Pag void ni, pareha ka ganina, void, void, dili nimo na siya i-assign. Wala na siya equal sign diri Okay? Tawagon lang nimo na siya. Ana lang ang pagtawag sa void. Pero pag pag naa siya i-return, pwede nimo siya i-assign sa variable. Pwede nimo siya diretso og tawag pag naa ka sa output statement or pag gamiton nimo siya sa manipulations like addition, subtraction, and other processes. Kaya naman siya value. So, kung number siya, pwede nimo siya i-add. Pwede nimo siya i-minus and so on. Pwede nimo siya i-assign. So, you always have to anticipate what's the value returned. Kung naa siya value nga i-return, then of course, pwede nimo siya ma-store. Katong void kay wala man na siya value, so dili gani mo na siya ma-store. Okay? Ma'am. Saan ka po? Kaya dili, ma'am? Sa klase ka? Oo. Wala ba akong pumasok? Saan ako pumasok? Going back, so this is now our my address. So naa siya value. So pwede nimo siya i-store sa variable. Okay, and then we're going to print now. Okay, so what we did here is we give a value, we assign a value to name, that is Aiza Romano, and we also assign value to address or add NTC Panabo City, and then we assign a value to text, which is a string, to be equals to the value returned by my address, giving the value of name and address also as parameters or arguments of my address. Now, here, pag call niya anang kang my address, so diri that will be the value of my name will be Aiza Romano, and my ad will have NTC Panabo City. So, ang iyahang value nga i-return diri will be from details, which is Aiza Romano works at NTC Panabo City. Sunod mo na siya yung i-return diri sa text. Okay, again, the value of text is Aiza Romano works at NTC Panabo City. Mo na iyang i-print. And next to that is, that's the end of the program. Okay, so the text output is Aiza Romano works at NTC Panabo City, and that's the end of the program. So let's have another example. This will be an example of the use of overloading. Okay, so this is our main method, and let's write our first, again, our method. So let's have, this is birthday. So we have this void method date birthday, which will accept the day as integer, and it will print the text event date plus the value of dd, tapos isumpay niya ning /2 1984. Let's create another method. Which will accept the day and the month. So, take note, parehas silang pangalan. So, overloading na ni siya. Pero, dili sila pareha og parameters. Ang isa lang. DD lang. Ang ikaduha, duha ang parameters, DD and MM. That's for the day and the month. And the second method will print the date given the value of dd and the value of isumpayan po niya og slash, and isumpay niya ang month plus 1984. Okay, so the other one will have to print only event date plus the value of dd and then constant 2 1984. The second one will have to print event date plus the value of dd plus slash plus the value of mm plus 1984. The third one, basically the same method, but it can accept up to 3. Up to 3 parameters. So dd slash mm plus slash plus the year. In the main method, we'll have the values assigned to the day, to the month, and to the year. And then we will call the first method. This is to demonstrate how the different methods will work. So here, we will pass the day. Kini atong i-test. So, isa lang ang atong ipasa. Ang day lang. Kini siya. Day. Ang sunod, atong tawagon ang ikaduha. Ang ikaduha, kinahanglan niya ang day ug ang month. Ang ikatulo, needs the day, the month, and the year. So let's run. We have, let's debug first. There is lacking here. The equal sign is not around. So we have here event date. This is the first one, the first method. Tapos diri ikaduha na ni nga method and ikatulo nga method. So the same output, but diri as ikaduha walay space ug sa ikatulo after the date dapat butangan nato na siya og space diri after sa date. Okay. Sunod, I think that's it. Let's take a look at your self-checks. How would you be able to answer your self-checks? Let's see if you can, if we're able to cover all. So there are actually six problems that you're going to answer in your problem set 1. Aside from your course activity self-check 1, you also have to answer problem set 1, and there are 6 problems or six programs that you need to write. If you need assistance or you need more clarification sa problem ninyo, so i-chat lang ko ninyo ha. Sa inyong mga questions ani mga sa inyong problem set. So let's tan-awan ninyo ang problem set number 1, question number 1. I will show you how you will gonna, or yes, or pwede ninyo i-try na siya og answer karon. Since we still have time, I think 5 minutes, just 5 minutes more. Okay. Can you write, or can you try to answer number 1? So I can see kung asa dapit mo maglisod. Okay? So number are you working on answering number 1? Problem set number 1. kindly share your screen or share your answer, screenshot or picture run. If you're using your laptops, share a screenshot of your code. Tanaw na ko ang inyong answer sa number 1. I'm also sharing the code, our examples, in our group chat. siya man. Kani kung sa certification of non-EA certification.
Amang good signing ana nga requirements sa liquidation, ma'am. Sa kanay ma'am ba? Unsa ko ibutang diri ma'am? Sila na ba nimo fill up ma'am or ako?
Ibing siya. Oh, ikaw.
Unsa kung ibutang diri nga CMO number ma'am?
CMO. Kasi ganin yun. Bayanihan. Bayanihan. Sikap. CMO.
Ma'am, sigutang na akong problema, ma'am.
Ano di sigutang?
Wala man siya nag-forward sa ako og kuan.
ID?
ID og certification nga gikan sa register ba? Tubok pa jud kay kung ID ma'am na niya. So guna ko si Zaira pa chat atong una pa jud ma'am kato nangayo pa ko. Ginasin ra daw sila.
Ganun.
So na siya ma'am ni anak ko ba? Anak ko sa Zaira say active pa ni si Gutang sa musin ra man na siya tiuy. Dili ra man na siya mo-reply ba sa chatan.
Ganun.
So ako na siya ma'am. Yung requirements ako ang kulang ma'am ba?
Noon, saan man na nabayaran biya siya na.
Nabayaran siya, ganig. Apple mangod na to siya dito.
Ay, tawagan na lang na siya sa ay, cha.
Uging na niya ko si Saira mo mga kadua sa ako.
Pinahanglan gid siya
Importante
to.
kaya na ako siya mga kuan story.
Ganun.
Niya ko padalaan na nag ID sign, sa copy, niya ko pirmahin na lang daan. So sige te, kung mo reply lagi ni siya te.
Pinahanglan tawagan
Wala
jud.
siya. Wala ko sige, pangayuin na lang po kong number sa iba kaya ako na pong i-contact. Kaya importante kayo ba kasi 15 days rabi ni i-process ang kuan ani scan copy para ma-send na mo silang email.
January 7 to na-receive na.
January 7 ma'am.
7 plus 15.
Bakit na?
22?
Karong biyernes. Ang last.
Ito de ito. Sige na ito. Ito ang sanako dahil sa email siya ang CMO.
Maulang tugod na pa-enroll sa gutang ma'am.
Karon sa consent. Hello.
Kung sa'y problema anong bata
Wala na gid siya paano di na mo gid siya active we.
Gani, mapuingan ni Sarah po. Sabi sa kung saan dyan mo na siya chat eh. Kaya mag-send na dyan na siya. Makita naman daw nila nga masin. Di lagi daw mo reply.
Gani, king ako pod ba, isim pod ko anak niyo.
Tanaw na guna ako ang kuan ma'am words ma'am.
Ani.
44, tama naman, 44,952 pesos, 96 centavos. Tama ba ba?
952 pesos. And
Mabuta ko endera and 96 centavos. Kanang dated ma'am, kato nang pagka-receive na ko sa check-in niya ma'am no, January 7.
ang tang naa jud sa check eh.
Oo, mabuta ko.
CMO number. Number 10. Sulatan ako.
Salit na ma'am, kaya ako na nang scratch. Kana, issued by, ay kani, karon na siya nga tatlaw ma'am.
Okay. Isa, wala na ako nakita ang PM sa message request ni no.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala lagi sa message request na ako. Ano ara diri sa computer? Two variables are. So ang display it isa lang sa problem holds the main method holds an integer variable. So isa lang siya ka integer. Okay, isa lang ka variable. And then display it iya lang i-output kung unsa tong variable. Okay? Itong i-output dito sa imuhang method. So, naa kay variable sa main, ipasa niya sa method. O niya ang method, iyang i-display tong value sa katong gipasa sa iya ha. Ano no? Muna siya ang display it. Tapos, ang display it times 2, ikaduha na siya nga method. Okay? Ikaduha siya nga method. Tapos, katong nga variable, katong isa lang ka variable sa main, iyaha siyang ang buhaton sa kaning ikaduha nga method is iyahang i-times 2. Ang iyang i-return is ang value kung tahay ang sa main kay x, ang variable x equals to 10. Tapos ang sa method, ang 10 iyang i-return times 2. So return x times 2 ana. So, ang 10, mahimo siya, ang ihang i-return is, mahimo siya, 20. Kay times 2 man siya. So, ang ikatulong nga method is display it plus 100. So, katong value sa katong variable, i-plus niya og 100. Ana siya.
Sige, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, I think it's already 3 o'clock. So, we will end na our meeting this time, guys. So,
Ma'am, pwede siya gamitan ng overloading.
Mm-mm.
Depende lang. Okay.
ay, kuan na, nakabutang naman dito ang pangalan sa method.
3
no?
gana siya ma'am.
Oh. So, ayaw na mag-overloading kay na naman sa instruction ang pangalan sa method. Kung nasa instruction, the same ang pangalan sa methods ninyo, then mag-overloading. Pero kay naka-specify naman ang pangalan, ayaw na lang mo mag-overloading sa number 1, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Many siya ipasa, ma'am. Within this week.
Oo. Or next week. So,
Okay, ma'am.
So, sa Thursday, sa Wednesday man no, Wednesday, na human naman ako atong topic. So, sa Wednesday, kay Wednesday, MW man atong time. So, dili na ko magklase sa Wednesday. Mao na siya inyong trabahoon sa Wednesday.
So, mag-answer na lang, ma'am.
Oo, tapos i-send ninyo sa kwang inyong output. Okay, Wednesday. Kung naamoy, if you need assistance, or kung nahuman na ninyo, i-send ninyo. Tapos, sa Monday, kung wala pa gyapon nahuman, continue lang gyapon ninyo siya. And then, Wednesday, mag-exam ta.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? So, napa ba mo'y question or other concerns?
Wala na, ma'am.
Wala na, ma'am.
Wala na. So, I hope you are all safe and staying healthy right now. So, and I also hope na you have learned something from our meeting. Okay, so I will see you again next schedule of our OSDL, maybe on week 4, Monday. or Tuesday on week 4. Okay, guys? So, thank you for attending. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye. God bless.
God bless.